just in case either of us comes up with some amazing wisdom. You never know. Did you get a message? Yes, it's recording. I got a message there. So, well, have you been teaching or anything like that in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah. I've been an assistant in quite a number of Zoom workshops.
Oh, okay.
Where I've been in different breakout rooms, just keeping people on track. And I have led some story workshops as well, but that hasn't involved any breakout rooms in those ones.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good.
I have got experience, yeah.
Well, you've probably got more experience than me of breakout rooms, to be honest. Have you got any kind of tips or things that you noticed about them or problems?
Well, it's always good to have a co-host if there are two of you so then you can both move around them freely, which is always good to make sure that the participants are working on the task that was set and not just talking about anything. So yeah, it's always good to have a co-host in the meetings to make sure that they're on track.
And what age group are you working with?
Well, it was between 8 to 28, so they were quite ranged, and we had 8 to 11s and then 12 to 28. So yeah.
Hello, Josie.
Hi. That's my husband.
Hello, Mr.
Hi.
Josie.
Gavin.
Pardon?
Gavin.
Gavin. Hi, Gavin.
Yeah.
How are you both?
Still alive.
Yeah, that's
saying, yeah.
pretty much what. Yeah, it's difficult.
Yes, exactly.
It's difficult to be positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
And with the situation just going on and on.
Yes, and here it's the third wave.
Third?
Yeah, we got the third wave. They want to lock us down again, but they might not. We don't.
Where
know
are
yet.
you again?
Hong Kong.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, that's been in the news a lot.
Yes.
About mask wearing and
all sorts of reasons.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Golly gosh, yeah. There's a lot of change going on there, or trying to go on in opposite directions.
Yes.
It must be really difficult to be in the middle of all that.
Actually, for us, it doesn't. We're not really involved with it, so it doesn't really affect us, to be honest. I think as long as you stay out of politics, and you should anyway as a teacher, you know. I mean, I think discussions are good, but I think you have to be really careful how you discuss it. And well,
better not to discuss it.
Yes, better not. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We won't go down that road.
I'm being told off. Yes.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Welcome to Linda.
Thank you. Hi there. Sorry I'm late.
That's all right. We're just having a bit of a chatting catch up really at the moment. I was just asking Jenny about what she'd been doing since the boot camp, and she's done quite a lot of online stuff, assisting with lessons and also leading storytelling sessions online.
Fantastic.
How about you, Linda? Have you been doing online stuff?
No, it's really slowed down since the end of our school year.
Okay.
I've been doing some just telling some stories online for a church that I work with, but no, I haven't been doing. And I run a weekly women's trauma writing group. So that's been continuing, but that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. So when does school start back again for you then?
Well, we're still having those conversations because in Canada, I mean, our provinces and our regions within our provinces are all at varying stages of going back. So my province is Ontario, and many areas of my province are still stage 2 and stage 3, where our groups are small. I'm not sure that we're going to be going back to the classroom. Some have said we might go back in August. Some say we might not go back in September.
Yeah.
So our boards of education are still trying to figure out what that's even going to look like.
Yeah. Well, I think, how is it in Hong Kong?
Yeah, it's similar. I mean, I've actually finished at school now.
Yeah.
Retired, I hate the word. I'm not retired really for
Oh,
myself.
right. Finished in that way, yeah.
But I've retired from school, and that's great because now I can concentrate on my own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I'm doing what you're doing, the Zoom thing, and learning about how to use Zoom.
Yep.
For my school, I don't know what they're going to do. They might ask me to do something, who knows, but I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they're not really like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I've been there for 9 years, and so they will miss me, I think.
Mm.
And
And when do they go back then in Hong Kong?
They don't know. They don't know.
Oh, again,
it's all up in the air. It's all up in the air. Yeah.
And Jenny, how about the Scottish borders then? What's the plans there?
Well, I think we're thinking at the moment we would go back in October. Hopefully
Right.
back into classes in October.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we'd thought. Just because hopefully the kids are going back full time in August up here anyway. Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah, they go
That's
back sooner, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. So then that would give them 2 months of school in whatever new way, and then we would hopefully go back in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jenny, you're a service provider.
I'm a freelancer, so I go into to lead workshops or assistant workshops for a specific company at the moment. So yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's lots we could do and try out, and I was just having a look at. I'm just going to share with you my screen, and just find what the page I was looking at, if I've got it there. Yes. Yeah. Do you remember this page?
Yes.
So this is what I was, my drama workshop for the Wednesday of the boot camp, and I only did about less than half of it. So I thought that I would go through some of the other things, and then as it's just a small group of us, you know, it's quite nice just to ping pong ideas around a bit. And you know, feed in what each of us can. So did we play What Are You Doing?
Yeah.
I have a feeling we did do that one. Yes, we did. So another one is, do you know the game Buzzy Bees?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, well, Buzzy Bees is where the children walk around the classroom and buzz like bees. There's obviously various versions of this. And then the teacher calls out a letter of the alphabet and they have to make the shape of an object on their own, of something beginning with the letter A, say. And then when everybody is in position, the teacher asks each person what they've made, and if anybody has made the same as someone else, they're out. So you have to try and be a little bit devious, to try and think of something that other people won't, you know. So if you do apple in the first round, you'll probably be out. But if you did albatross or armadillo, you'd probably do a bit better. So that's a game that obviously you play that in the space, but I don't see why you couldn't play that on a Zoom meeting, definitely. And for younger kids, you can, instead of giving them, if they're not sure of their alphabet, you can just give them a theme like on the beach, in space, in a tent, or whatever it might be, and they have to think of objects that you would find in those circumstances. Okay. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So let's just play it now. We may as well. So I'm going to call. So you've got to buzz like a bee, okay? And you can act it out as well. That's it. Great. Love to see it. And okay. And the first letter is the letter R. R. And you've got 5 seconds to make a shape of an object. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Jenny and Josie, you look quite similar. Josie, what are you?
A ram.
Okay. Jenny?
A rabbit.
Yeah, I thought you were definitely a rabbit, actually. And what about Linda?
I'm a rug.
A rug. Okay, great. All right. You all had some similarities in your shape, but you were different things. It's fine. And obviously, when kids play this, they will cheat, because if if somebody's a rabbit and you say, well, are you a rabbit as well? You might say, no, I'm a I don't know. They might try and think of something else that looks like that, if they're clever. So that's the game, and it is a game where you try and get people out and you try and get a winner or a pair of winners at the end of it. Jenny, is there anything else you'd like to add to that? Because you've played it before, you know the game.
Yeah, no, just that that sometimes I don't play it with, depending on the group of kids that I'm working with, I sometimes don't do the rule that if they're out, that if they have the same person as someone else, then they're out, because it just depends. I try and gauge it with who I'm working with.
Yeah.
But some of the kids love the competition element of that. So yeah. I just yeah, but no, it's a great game. My kids that I work with love it. So yeah, but I've never tried it on Zoom, so it's definitely given me an idea for when we start back, if we start back on Zoom.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one that you could do with a large group on a Zoom meeting with the whole group there. Okay, so that's Buzzy Bees or alphabet objects, and the other variation that I do with it is that in between letters I call out a different animal. So this time they have to squeak like a pig, or whinny like a horse, or moo like a cow while they're walking around, and that's quite good fun. So just to mix it up a bit. Okay, do you know, if you're originally British, you might know this, and even Canadians might know this as well, the adverb game. If I describe it, then you might suddenly say, yes, I do know it. So originally, it's a kind of a parlour game, I suppose, because I can imagine it going back to Victorian times.
Yeah,
and
I think.
Yeah, the idea is that one person goes out of the room and the others choose an adverb. So it could be, for example, gently, or wildly, or happily, usually something ending with ly. Then the person comes back in the room and they have to ask different people in the group to do an activity. For example, they might say, Josie, can you play the piano? And you have to do it, if it's gently, you have to do it in the style of the adverb.
Yes,
and if they don't get it, then they can ask somebody else to do something completely different. And the variation I ask is that they can ask more than one person to do something at a time, because if you've got a large group, then it gets a bit boring for people who aren't taking part. So they could say to the whole class, I want you to eat a sandwich in the style of this adverb, and then they try and guess. And I usually give them 3 guesses. So again, it's a kind of guessing game, and if they don't guess it, we tell them what it is. If they do guess it, then someone else is chosen to go out the room. Anybody heard of that before?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard of that. That's fun.
Yeah, and I play it with my language classes. So where I'm teaching drama methods to trainee teachers, or teachers in general who are teaching language through drama, that's quite a good one for working on adverbs, and also for verbs and activities, hobbies, and so on, because it could be, you could ask people to do a different hobby each time. So the way you could do that on Zoom is you could get somebody to turn their back to the camera and write down an adverb. I'm going to write one down. And then one of you is going to be the person who So who turns their back? So Linda, could you turn your back, please?
Can I put this up because?
Or put that up. Yeah, that's fine. I'll tell you when to drop it down. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to read this. Can you read that, you two?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Because when I hold it up, it looks like mirror writing to me. But I'm glad it's the right way round for you. So Linda, you can put your piece of paper down now, and you can ask any of us to do any activity that you like. And it's lucky that there's 3 of us to play, because you'll get 3 guesses.
Is it possible to stop sharing your screen so y'all are bigger?
Okay, so what you can do is, oh yeah, sorry, I get you.
No, yeah, perfect.
That's it.
Thank you.
No,
You're just a little bit bigger now, so I can see that.
Yeah, great. Thank you for that.
Okay. So now what do? I ask you.
You think of any activity that comes to mind. With younger kids or language learners, I would have a list of activities on the board for them to choose from, but it can be anything you like. It can be weird or boring.
Please use the adverb to engage in an argument with your brother.
Okay. Who do you want to do that?
Jenny.
I don't want to do that. I'm not. No. Just no.
Okay.
Wow.
So now, if you're not sure, you've probably got an idea of the ballpark.
Think so?
So this game can go on for a few hours, by the way, especially when you choose a difficult adverb. But
Did
now
you choose a difficult adverb?
Well, it might not have been the most easy, so I might give you some clues in a minute.
All right. Josie, could you do this as you were use this adverb while you're shopping?
Okay, hang on. What? You haven't got that anymore? You must be joking. For goodness sake, tell me where it is.
Okay.
Is it an LY word?
It is, actually.
Excitedly?
No.
I'm sorry.
So
aggressively.
Pardon?
Oh, that would be my second guess, wouldn't it? I was going to say aggressively.
Well, you're much closer to it. You're much closer. Okay. And the thing is that with the English language, there are so many blinking words that are almost the same that actually when English native speakers play this game, they just play it like this. If you're playing it with kids or with language learners, I would have a list on the board of a choice of adverbs, because otherwise, the sky's your limit.
Right.
Yeah, you can ask me to do something, and I'll give you a clue that it begins with the letter F, like my surname.
Oh, all right. Okay, just give me a second.
Sure.
Would you please use this adverb while consoling a child who has just scraped their knee?
You poor thing! Oh, look at you! You cut your knee open! Oh, you went and fell down and you've got a cut on your knee! Oh, I'm going to get a plaster for you, all right? Now, cheer up!
That was frightening.
Well, it was meant to be, really. I was trying to channel John Cleese, actually, with his mini.
Let it be noted that I never want to scrape my knee under your care.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it might have been frantically, but there was more anger in you than
you were closer with aggressively.
Okay.
So it was furiously. Okay. That was a really bad one to choose for an example. Normally I would choose something like happily or smoothly or contentedly or sadly. You know,
well, you did a good job, David. It was good.
Sorry?
You did a good job.
Oh, thank you. Well, I just thought that, you know, with a word like that, you've really got to give it 10, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, well, the thing is that the whole point of the game is the reason why it's funny, especially at the beginning, is that you ask somebody to play the piano sexily, or you ask them to eat chips charmingly, you know. And it's that misfit between the adverb and the activity that makes it really funny. And for adults love playing this game because you can actively think of activities that will look really stupid with the adverb or the word that you think it might be.
It's true, because as it progressed and you each got incrementally more furious.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a building on what you see the others do as well.
Yeah.
And then by the time you're almost out of guesses, you kind of go, okay, if it was not quite aggressive, what's an example of something that I might get a stronger sense of the adverb by juxtaposing it against a situation that's not that thing.
Yeah.
So she deliberately asked him to do something that was.
So yeah, but obviously with, you know, as adults we can play it that way, but with kids or language learners, I'd have a list of adverbs and a list of activities for them to choose, again depending on their level, really. But I've played that with adult friends, and you can play, you know, you don't have to have 3 guesses. You can just keep playing it until they guess the word, and make them really work hard. You know? So, and especially if you like the synonyms that there are in the English language, you can spend a lot of time on it. Right, so that was the adverb game, and I think we've kind of proved that you can play it online. We have proved it, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I think this, you know, the simple thing of hiding your eyes or turning your back to the camera is equivalent to somebody going out of the room. What you might also want to do is to mute their microphone.
Sorry, I'm onto my notebook.
So that they can't cheat. I'm just talking about that game does work as a Zoom. So, you know, I'm quite pleased with that because I haven't tried it out before online in that way. And let me just go back to my list of things. Oh yeah. Did I do with you, I think I might have done it with you, the game Where Do You Stand? Which is all about opinions. I'm not sure because I've done a few sessions with different groups of people. But Where Do You Stand? The idea is that you start off with a statement like, I prefer cats to dogs. Did we do that one? No? You might have seen it on my website because it's been on there for 20 years.
Mentioned it, yeah.
Yeah. So the idea is, so I make a statement like, I prefer cats to dogs. And in the original game, what happens in the classroom is that you have one chair at one end with agree written on it or a thumbs up, and a chair at the other end with a thumbs down or the word disagree, or it could be yes or no for little kids. And then they have to go to the chair that they favour. So if you say, I prefer cats to dogs, and one of them thinks, I prefer cats to dogs, so that's a yes. If another one thinks, no, I don't prefer cats to dogs, they have to go to the no. If they're not sure, they go in the middle, okay? And in the original drama game, it's a really good way of finding out people's opinions, because if you, for example, I mean, it might be, do you think that the UK should exit Europe? For example, I'm trying to think of something that's a bit more involved. So you're going to get a spectrum of people then. And then what you do, once they've made their choice, you ask them why they made that choice, or you take some example people. So I usually start with someone who agrees with the phrase, and say, right, why did you agree? And the idea is you don't judge what they've said. And then you go to the other end and say, well, can I have somebody who disagreed? Why did you prefer cats to dogs? Or why did you think that Britain should exit the EU? So, and then you've got people in the middle. So you say, well, you weren't at either end. Why did you choose that? And they say, well, I'm in the Liberal Party and I can't make my mind up, or whatever it might be. And so with kids, obviously, it wouldn't be like that. So you might say something like, I prefer chocolate to chips. All right. Yeah, difficult decision. So Linda, I'm guessing by her reaction, might be in the middle there because she likes chocolate and chips. So anyway,
I do have a slight tendency toward chocolate, though.
Okay, so the way you can play this online is with your thumb. So I'm going to give a statement and we'll play it, and you can either be thumbs up, thumb in the middle, or thumbs down. Or you could, if you were Linda, you might be sort of like thumb north by northwest or something like that. I know. Okay, so I prefer watching TV soaps to reading a trashy novel. I prefer watching TV soaps to reading a trashy novel. Where would you be? I think I would be, yeah, okay. So, Jenny, why would you prefer to read a trashy novel?
Because I'm not a fan of soaps, so yeah.
Okay, can you give us an example of a trashy novel?
Well, I really like anything Sophie Kinsella or Jenny Colgan, so anything by them would
be. Great. And Josie, you had your thumb up, so why did you prefer TV soaps?
I get into them, and I really want to know what happens next. It depends what kind of soap it is, of course.
Yeah.
I don't like really stupid ones, or they have to be really stupid and comedic.
Yeah.
If they're not comedy and they're just stupid, then I don't want to watch them.
Yeah. Okay. So they have to kind of not take themselves too seriously.
Right.
And Linda, how about you? So you're in the middle. Why was that?
Well, I don't prefer either. I don't like it as a genre.
Yeah.
But I would prefer soaps because I have really good memories of watching an afternoon soap opera with my grandmother.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So now again, in the original game, what you do when you've got a few opinions from people, if you're playing it with kids, you then say, is there anybody, now that you've heard the different opinions, does anybody want to change their mind?
Yeah.
And so normally you would get some people taking a few steps towards one end, or especially the people in the middle, they might say, oh yes, I remember I do prefer dogs to cats, or I do prefer chocolate to chips. So it's great for children or young people who are forming their opinions. And you can adapt it in all sorts of different ways. For example, if you were studying a novel or a play, you could get them to be a character from the play, giving that character's opinion.
Yeah.
And this is especially good for teenagers because sometimes they just don't want to say what they think in front of other people. So if they're acting out somebody else's opinion, it gives them the chance to hide behind that character. So, you could have, I don't know, Hansel, Gretel and the Wicked Witch, and see which one of them preferred chocolate to chips. Or you could ask them, are you I don't know, do you think you are beautiful? Or, I don't know what, but, you could, anything that you like that could relate to those characters.
Snow White.
Sorry?
Snow White.
Yes,
and
Snow White, yeah.
The Queen thinks she's beautiful.
Yeah, the Queen, I was thinking, would the witch think she was beautiful?
Maybe.
She might do, yeah. Okay, so now that's again, so, online you could just call it thumbs up, or you can call it where do you stand? And it worked quite well that you can then pick out a few people who on the screen and ask them for their opinion. So you see that there's 3 or 4 that have got their thumbs up, some have got their thumbs down, and you can get a range of opinions. And I normally keep it fairly fast moving so that it doesn't get too boring, so, you might move on to a completely different kind of question next.
I don't know if this is appropriate, but if you were doing with older kids, or there's a movement in our school board now for character development. I guess nobody's teaching that anymore, so it falls to the boards of education. But I'm wondering if there's a way of then saying, okay, we've got 3 thumbs up and 17 thumbs down. Would anybody with thumbs up like to share what it feels like to be in the minority? What does that feel like for you to feel? Or maybe you don't feel outnumbered. Maybe you're very strong in your opinion.
Yeah.
Could there be that application as well for, say, older students that could handle it?
Yeah, I think so. No, I think that's definitely worth doing. Another thing that I've done with that game once is I played it at a conference. I was a participant, and so we had about, 70 people on the stage, and we were asked our opinion about some arts related thing, I think. And what they told us to do was to briefly chat with people who were near us. So you would then turn to the person near to you and say, why did you stand at this end, to see if they had a similar reason. So there's all sorts of ways that you could adapt it. And the other thing that I usually say about it is that it's better than, if you imagine if you just said to a class, is there anybody who, or rather, could anybody tell me what they think about Britain leaving the EU? You'd probably get about 3 people putting their hand up, and the usual ones not. And in this game, everybody has to show their opinion by where they stand or where they put their thumb. Yeah, so that's right. So I'm just going to share again, just going back to that screen, because another variation I wanted to show you of that is you could do it with factual things or ethical statements. So I've got science ideas, curriculum science ideas related to where do you stand. Cow's burps are a big cause of climate change. Do you agree, disagree, or not sure? Okay. Paddling a canoe to school will help the environment. What do you think? 3, 2, 1. And if you're in Canada, the reason I put that statement in there is that I once visited Winnipeg, and one of the actors told me that in the summer, he went to work by canoe. It's not something you normally do in the UK very often.
Well, not in Hong Kong either.
No. So climate change is bad for polar bears and other animals. Yeah, I think we know that one. I do at least one thing every day to help prevent climate change. Honestly, or yeah.
It's the everyday.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But then again, we all automatically nowadays, we do remember to switch off a light, even if we don't remember it straight away. But it's a great one for kids because they have to then think of the things that would help to prevent climate change. I know lots of ways to reduce my carbon footprint. I know why recycling helps to stop climate change. I recycle things more than 5 times every day. No, I don't. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Linda, what do you recycle every day?
Oh, paper, plastic, glass, tin foil. We've got a really good recycling program, so I can take a lot of things. So yeah, I'm always always headed out the back door.
Yeah. And Josie?
Yeah, same as Linda. We don't have a good recycling program, but we have a place near where we live, and I take it all there. So
yeah. Okay. No, and what I found interesting about that is because I first of all thought no, but when you two said the things that you recycled, I thought, oh yeah, I do recycle. So I would be changing my opinion a bit if I was asked a second time.
Yeah.
And you could obviously change that to other areas of the curriculum if you wanted to, or it could be for Linda, it could be testing their comprehension of a story, or asking them what they think a character might do in a certain circumstance. If they met that character, what would they think of them? Or if that character was in a snowstorm, or whatever it might be. Something I did with some trainee teachers recently that they suggested that I really liked was a freeze frame song. And the idea of this was that different groups had to come up with some drama ideas using freeze frames. So one of them came up with the idea of a song, and then they divided the whole group into breakout rooms. And so there were groups of about 3, and in each breakout room, they were given a different lyric from the song. And they had to make a freeze frame of that line, which was quite nice. So I didn't actually know the song, and I can't remember what it was. But I kind of learnt more about the song by doing it. So everybody went away for 3 or 4 minutes, and then they came back, and then I played the song to them. I had enough time to look it up and find it to play for them when they came back. And then each of the groups showed their freeze frame for different lines. So that was quite nice. Very simple. And that would be using breakout rooms. Can you think of any songs that come to mind? I mean, it depends what age group you teach.
Yeah, I was just because of the visual, I was thinking Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Or the YMCA might be quite a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although you might get some similarities in the different groups, but
true, yeah.
But you've still got lots of lines, haven't with different actions going on. Well, we're drawing a blank there, but I mean, you could take virtually any song, really. And I suppose things like ballads, folk ballads, would have, especially where you've got a storytelling ballad, that would have a lot. So equally, what I'm just going to write down now is that you could do that with poems, and that might be even better because it's better for their soul as well. But yes, you could. The highway band.
I like the idea of the ballads, but there are a lot of inspirational songs out there too, that if we could embody the inspiration of the messaging of some of those songs, so the kids kind of carry that in their bodies when they leave the session, I think that might be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, that's good. So actually to think about the feeling of that line as well, and not just the content of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Is Me comes to mind from The Greatest Showman when you said that.
Do you know any of the lines? Because I don't know that.
Hang on. I'll try and find it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great song.
My Bonnie is over the ocean, maybe?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to...
Yeah. Nursery rhymes for little ones.
Oh yeah, the cow jumped over the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The lyrics. But...
It's I'm not a stranger to the dark, hide away they say, because we don't want your broken parts. And it's I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away they say, no one will love you as you are. And it just kind of goes on and talks about different scars and stuff. Yeah, it's quite an important one.
That reminds me of...
Really...
Go on, Linda.
Sorry, I was going to say that's really applicable if you do mental health work. In hospital or recovery or any of the groups where they would really resonate with that language. I would struggle probably doing that with anything other than anybody younger than, you know, second or third year high school because of the intensity.
Yeah, sure. But yes, it shows that it's a good example of ones that have a deeper resonance, and that you could show, because, you know, we were thinking of things that you would literally act out, but it could be things that you showed symbolically. How would you show one of those lines? And it reminds me of an activity that I sometimes do in my Shakespeare workshops, which is an idea that the RSC use. And what they do is they take a monologue or a speech, or it can be anything from Shakespeare, and they divide the class into groups, and they give each group, say, 2 lines or 4 lines. And then they have to make freeze frames or a movement sequence to show what their lines are, but also speak the lines. And so it makes, what's great about it, what I really like about it, is that if you've got a monologue that has to be spoken by one character, it's quite hard for that actor, especially a young person. But if you explore that monologue with the whole class, then it feels like there's a common ownership, and everybody helps to find the meaning of that monologue, and they all kind of share it with that one person who speaks it.
What they did as well, the RSCs, they do something called imaging. So they image the difficult words so that the kids, and that's particularly good for my kids because they're English second language learners. So you have to explain the word by an action, and that really makes it come to life as well.
Yeah. That was the activity I was thinking of, was imaging the text.
Yes.
Did you go to Warwick? Were you the person who went to Warwick?
Yes, exactly. And I spent 1 week at the RSC for my master's degree, and we did things with the actors and some of the directors. It was really interesting.
So again, you know, with a lot of these drama activities, you can take them from something really simple, you know, like the cow jumped over the moon, to a speech by King Lear.
Yes.
Depending on the ability and age and language knowledge, language level. So, shall I take a break from telling you my ideas? And is there anything that any of you would like to share with us at this point?
I texted you some stuff, but I don't want to be the first.
Oh, don't you? Okay.
Well, please be. Well, consider yourself second then.
Yeah, okay. I'll tell you. What I'll do is I'll gently ease us into it by saying, Josie, I noticed that you said something about roll on the wall, and I really liked that activity. And there was something that I wanted to ask you about, actually, which you said. Let me just have a look, see what you said. I've lost the thing. But yeah, where was it? There we go.
Was it the next thing? No. They would have to bring felt tip pens.
Oh, it was felt tip pens. Yeah, no, I got that. It was. Oh yes, you said that the group chooses a character from the book or play that's being done.
Yes.
And each member of the breakout group then writes an adjective to describe that character. And it was a bit where you said the others try and guess what the word is. Does that mean each person has to act out their adjective?
Yes. Yes, they act out the adjective. So each group, if you have a large group, you could have each group choose their own character in the play. Or you could have one group for everybody. And then each group then thinks of adjectives to go with that character. Then they act it out and they guess what it is. Then they make a freeze frame to go with that, and sort of like, or a thought train connection, if you see what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, or however many are in that group. Yeah, that's what.
So could we do an example to try it out?
Okay.
Because I roughly get the idea, but I think I need to try it out.
Yes.
If that's all right.
Right.
Would you take us through something?
Me? Yeah, sure. If I gave you Juliet, each of you think of an adjective to go with Juliet. Don't tell anybody, but do the adjective.
Yeah.
One by one, and then the others guess what it is. And as I said, I actually teach primary school children, so it's probably more suitable for primary than secondary, but you could still do it with secondary, I think.
All right, are you going to give us a countdown, or should we?
Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Now, actually, you need to freeze in position, and I'm going to unfreeze you one by one. Linda, can you guess what David is doing? What the adjective?
Let me do it a bit better. Sorry, no, hang on.
I get feisty.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I was just thinking of, do I say what it was? Or does anyone else want to guess? Jenny?
Are you strong? Strong?
Both of those words are correct, because I was just thinking of brave.
Okay.
But I like feisty more.
Okay, feisty, good. Okay, let's see. David, can you guess what Jenny's doing?
Okay. Yeah, I can, but I'm just trying to think of the word. I would say she is. I'm going to say something different. I'm going to say soulful.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's really good, because I was thinking contemplative.
Right. Okay.
Contemplative, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Jenny, can you guess what Linda was
Jenny, what was your actual word?
It was kind of like crying and soulful, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were.
Yes. Go on. Okay.
Is Linda upset and crying? Is that what? Tearful?
Sad. Yes.
Sad, yes.
Okay.
Distraught.
Good one. Okay, so although those three, that Jenny and Linda, you're very similar, but not the same. So I guess there's a thought going through there. David could be the start. He's Juliet. She is strong to start with. She's a strong girl, and then she gets more soulful, and then she's distraught. Obviously, she's distraught when her parents are telling her not to go marry somebody else. Yeah. Anyway, so can you make like how do you call it, a freeze frame together with those adjectives? I don't know if that's going to be possible. Let's try it.
Okay.
So almost as if you're holding each other, but you're not, obviously, because it's all virtual.
I like the idea of it then. The other thing is that we're all in different positions.
I know, yeah, true. Yes. But you can hold your hands like that or something.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so I can't like
in each other's direction. I know,
I'm not quite sure how to do it, to be honest.
Okay, so if you would point, okay, so it's because we're all seeing it in a different way, don't we?
Yeah, do you see what I mean?
Yeah, okay, so that doesn't work. Okay, fine. Okay, well that doesn't work then. But
one way around that is that if you send people into breakout rooms and then you give one person the responsibility of directing the image.
Oh yes.
And then that person takes a screenshot.
Okay.
And uploads it. Obviously, they need to be a bit technically minded to be able to do that. But then they would see, so, they would say, okay, the way I see it, Jenny is over to the left, I'm over to the right, Linda's down the bottom. So Linda, could you reach your hands up to me and I'll reach down to you? So that you set it up. But I think you'd need older kids to be able to do that.
Yeah. Or you could do 1, 2, 3. You could number the emotions or the adjectives, sorry, and do them in that order.
That's nice, yeah. I think so. I think, sorry, I'm just building on what you said, really, but I'm just thinking about, you could get people, you could get people in their breakout rooms to work out a movement sequence, incorporating their 3 adjectives.
Yeah.
And each of them would play each of the adjectives.
Right.
But they can also, I don't know, they could interpret them in different ways. I mean, it would be great for physical theatre students.
Yes.
So, so that we could go through being feisty and show our own versions of being soulful and distraught.
Yes.
Or for sorry, I'm just riffing on this now, but for older kids, you could then investigate each of those adjectives. So you could so if there were 3 of us in the breakout group and we had feisty, soulful and distraught, we would take one of those, first of all, soulful, and each show a different aspect of soulful.
Yeah.
And each show a different aspect of distraught. You could, because you could have different levels of being distraught. You could have sexy feisty or brave feisty, so there'd be different things that you could show.
And Juliet is both.
Yeah. So it's a good way of analysing, isn't it? Sorry.
And I really liked how there's just 3 of us, but we managed somehow to capture 3 stages of Juliet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because you can't get from feisty to distraught without being soulful and reflective.
Correct. And we're all doing it separately, which is amazing,
Yeah. It can feel like you're in the same room, can't it? I mean, it doesn't matter that we're in Canada, Hong Kong and the borders and Norwich.
Yes, amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really good. Okay, well, I'm going to stop it in a minute because it's nearly an hour.
Wow.
This is a great forum. I like the larger groups, but I really like the intimacy of the sharing with the smaller.
So you get to know each other better, right?
Yeah, it's good. That's really good. So if you know anyone that would like to do boot camp, can you let them know that it's going to be happening again in August?
Yes, I read that.
Because I did have some people contacting me and saying they couldn't do June, July, but they could I do something in August? But so far I haven't had much interest, but I haven't advertised it properly yet on my newsletter, so I'm about to do that.
I'll probably join you.
What, again?
Yeah, why not?
Really?
Yeah.
We would definitely be repeating some of it. But,
okay.
You know, there would be, I mean, for example, with 3D living pictures, there'll be different people choosing different pictures.
Exactly. I think it's always, I think these kind of things are really good because you, as you said earlier, everybody has their own thing, and it's always different. You have a different group of kids or a different group of people, and they bring different things to the Zoom or to the class or whatever you're doing. It's always different. I never have the same class, even if I teach A Midsummer Night's Dream 100 times. I still have, it's always different, and it's just amazing how that happens. I really love it. Yeah.
Well, that would be great. I have had people who have come to my courses in real life, to the same course, like 3 times.
Wow. Which I did, but it's a bit difficult for me.
But, yeah. But you know, and I've thought at first that's a bit weird, but actually they, you know, it really does vary with the group that you get.
Yeah.
And Jenny has been on about 3 of my courses, but some virtual and some real life. And it's nice for me because I get to know people a bit as well.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to say is that I'm definitely going to be doing I'm not sure what I'm calling it yet, but a theatre boot camp. So it's going to be about producing theatre online and with social distancing.
Excellent.
I'm definitely keen for that. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, that will be in October. I have got the dates for it actually. I could let you know those.
Okay.
While I'm here, while we're all here, July, September, October. Oh yeah, it's not in that diary. I better look in my computer diary. October. Oh, for some reason it's not in the diary. Okay, it's something like, I think it's the 12th to the 16th of October. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that is in the newsletter that I send out, which is going out tomorrow to everybody. So you'll get the dates coming through.
Thanks. But I mean, it's good for me now because, of course, I don't have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, and it's already midnight now.
Right.
What time is it for you, Linda?
Sorry?
Linda, what time is it for you?
Oh.
Noon, okay. Yeah, you're 12 hours behind me, that's right.
So what time is it there, Josie?
Midnight.
Oh, it is midnight, yeah. It's always a tricky one choosing the right time because it's always the wrong time for someone.
Yeah, but it's okay because, as I say, I don't have to get up at 5. I couldn't do the boot camp last week or the week before because I had to get up so early, but now they've closed school down again, so I can.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, well, thanks, everybody.
Thank you. This was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's it's a nice way to meet up and share ideas. And see you online.
Yes.
In one way or shape or form. And I'll book up another one of these in a month's time, and we'll probably have a slightly different mix of people.
Great.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Good.
All right.
Everybody.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Sleep tight, Josie.
Thank you. Yes. Thanks. What?